It's a crazy way to meet people over Zoom. Sam Fisher, how you doing, man?
What's going on, man? It is crazy. I wish we could be in studio together and get a photo together of you doing this.
Doing that
Of
little
your
hands
arms
up
out.
thing, you know?
And me looking at you being like, what are you doing? But hey, this will have to do until then.
Yeah, we got lots to chat about. How's quarantine treating you? Overall, pretty good. Or you stir crazy?
Look, very stir crazy, but I'm pretty grateful to be doing everything I'm doing and staying busy. And although a global pandemic was not part of the plan for this city, it's just a bit of the story, and I'm rolling with it, and we're doing all right. So yeah.
Things to do in 2020, global pandemic, not on the to-do list. What have you missed? I mean, I won't dwell too much on quarantine life, but we're all in it.
Yeah,
what have you missed most since this whole craziness started?
People, like, period. That's it. I miss hugging people. I miss traveling. I miss meeting fans. Like the first couple of months of this year was so crazy for me. I was traveling all over America on radio tour and meeting everyone, and then I went to Europe and the UK, and everything got shut down. And I don't think I've hugged anyone but my wife since March, and I miss that. I miss other people's energies. So that's definitely what I miss the most.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, are you one of those guys that stocked up on the toilet paper? Because my story is, we were running low. We thought, oh my God, we're going to run low on this, And so we started buying toilet paper from this website and that website, and they kept canceling it.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, nothing's going to show up because they keep, deleting our orders.
Yeah.
And then, of course, one day, Sam, we have about a million pounds of a ton of toilet paper shows up. So if you need some,
send it over. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna come through and pick some up. No, we didn't stock up on toilet paper straight away, and I think it's because I don't know if we're supposed to talk about bowel movements on the radio, but we're here now. Thanks, JoJo. But I didn't think a number 2 was a big part of the virus. So who knows? But we didn't stock up.
Who knew? What are you working on now? As if this city wasn't good enough. What do you? I assume you're a studio rat. That's my guess. You got a little studio back in the house somewhere. You're recording, you're writing, ton of stuff, right?
I've been finishing the project. I feel like I've been writing this project for the last 4 years, and the lockdown has given me time to finish everything. And so the project that's about to come out is being mixed right now. I just announced today that tomorrow Anne Marie is jumping on a feature.
I love her.
For this city. And she absolutely killed it. I can't wait for you to hear it. So that's coming out tomorrow. We've got some other special tricks up the sleeve. There's so much music to come, and I've been working on it for so long, and a lot of people think I'm just this one song guy, but I've been in this for years and grinding away, and so I'm excited to share more of my story, and that's what I've been able to do in this lockdown, is just finish things and prepare it and figure out how we're going to release it with all this.
Has anyone said, man, you're an overnight success, and not knowing that every overnight success took 10 years?
That's what I keep saying to people. I mean, I will take the label a success any which way it comes.
Right? Yeah.
It's definitely taken 10 years to become an overnight success, but yeah, I'll take it. I'm cool with that.
Sam, what are your fans like? Give me, because I love, and it's been a while since we've had some new psycho fan encounters, like I love to call them. I'm not saying your fans are psycho. I just need to think of a better name for this little question. But what are your fans like, and can you give me a good psycho fan encounter if you have one?
What are my fans like? They're awesome, man. They're super sweet. They care a lot. There have been a few kind of out there ones, but everyone is just really, really nice. They call me Pure, which is really funny, and they also call me Sammy.
I can see Sammy, but Pure. I mean,
they think that I'm very pure-hearted, and that's really sweet. And it's probably because they don't know me that well yet. But
so to confirm, you are not as pure as some may think.
I've lived a life. Look, it's all going to come out in these next songs. They'll realize. I think there's just a bit more to me, but they're really sweet. They're really honest. They send me messages about what they're going through and how my songs have helped them, and that's been the coolest part of it all. As far as psycho fan encounters, honestly, I haven't had any. A dope fan thing that a fan did for me was make me a homemade sweatshirt that was off The Office themed, and The Office is my favorite TV show. And like
Right.
she turned up to a radio show with it, and like walked up to me and was like, "Hey, by the way, I made you this sweater," and like I thought that was really cool. I don't know,
Dude, how cool. Yeah, I mean, I
very
assume
cool.
if that fan is listening, do you still have the shirt? Do you wear it around the house? Do you wear it at
I wear it
all?
all the time. I wear it all the time. It's super cozy. Like it's great. I love it. I mean, all of this is fresh to me. So, and also I love free things, you know what I'm saying? But like a
Right.
gift that comes, it's thoughtful. She knew I liked The Office, and she made a sweatshirt. It's really cool.
Well,
I think that's awesome.
hopefully you'll never have a, quote unquote psycho fan encounter. But if you do, bank it for your new best friend JoJo, and we'll talk
It's
about it next time, all that stuff.
yeah. I mean, it's been interesting watching accounts pop up where people are pretending to be me. That's been fun to kind of navigate through, but nothing's been too serious just yet.
True or false, Sam? I'm pretty sure this is true, but I'll just phrase it like that.
Okay.
In college, you were in an a cappella group called Pitch Slapped.
That is true.
God, what a great name. What a great name.
It's good, eh?
And is that, was your wife in that same group,
Mhm.
or was she in a competitive, like a different?
She was in the same group. I actually auditioned her for the group. A little bit
really?
of bias, I guess. No, she's the best. She's the best singer. We still sing today. She's my background singer in my band, and she's unbelievably talented. And yeah, but we met because of our a cappella group in college called Pitch Slap.
Did you know right when she came in for the audition, like, oh, okay, this girl's making the band. Like, wow.
You know what? I was a senior, and she was a junior, and I had decided. I was like, no, I'm going to move to LA after this year. I'm going to be single. I'm focusing on my art, focusing on my career. Nothing's going to distract me. And then yeah, she walked in, and I was like, I'm distracted. Help. And hey, listen, 7 years later, we're married, we're chilling, things are good. So
Hey, good for you,
it
man.
was a good distraction.
Will there ever be, final question on this, will there ever be a reunion of the famous band Pitch Slapped?
You know what? Pitch Slap continues. Like they re-audition every year. Our group, there have been some get-togethers, but we're all in contact constantly. Yeah, there's a network. There's a Pitch Slap network out there.
Sam, are you super anxious, like just chomping at the bit to get back on the road at some point? You got to be, right?
Yeah, man. Oh my goodness. I mean, I was supposed to go out with Niall Horan this summer.
Oh, my buddy. Love him.
He's the best. And it was a huge honor to just be asked to come out, period. I feel for him not being able to tour his record because Heartbreak Weather is crazy good. Yeah, I'm ready to perform for people. Like my dream is to play a show where the crowd knows my song and can sing it back to me. And I feel like that might be a possibility right now. And I want to experience it so badly, but I'm being patient, doing the right things, and yeah, I can't wait to get back out on the road.
Are you guys actively in talks for 2021, obviously, or maybe later? Who knows the dates? But are you actively in talks for a future tour?
The conversations are always ongoing. I think it's just really hard to know right now. But as soon as I can be out there, I will be. Look, as soon as I can be anywhere but my apartment, I will be there.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Doubt. Sam, in your Twitter bio, it says that you smell great.
It's true.
How can we confirm this? I mean, obviously, if we were in person, I would just give it a little sniff. But how can we? What do you smell like?
What do I smell like? Like,
is your wife there? Can she confirm that you smell? That you smell good?
She would. What do I smell like? I smell like I smell like greatness. I smell like an Australian who's been cooped up in his apartment for a couple months, and that, my friends, is a strong smell, but it's a good one.
Okay, so, greatness and an Australian that's been cooped up in his. I like it. I don't know if I would buy that in a bottle, but I like it. Sam, this city. Let's do it. Tell me everything I need to know about this city.
This City is a song that I wrote in 2016 when I was in a pretty rough place mentally. I wanted LA a lot more than LA wanted me, and I was trying to change myself to fit in here instead of just being myself and letting everything else happen around me. And it was a diary entry, it wasn't a song that I ever expected anyone else to care about because I just didn't really think anyone cared about me. And to now, I put out in 2018, January 2018. It went viral on TikTok when I had no idea what TikTok was when that happened in 2019. It's 2020. I'm on the radio interviewing JoJo on the radio. Like, it's like, this song is the little song that it's changed my life. And it got to a point where I was ready to hang my hat up and
Oh, wow.
just kind of give up. Like, I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not like a 15-year-old with tats on my face. I'm just kind of like, I'm a 28-year-old married guy who writes honest songs about what I'm going through. And I have my fans to thank for giving me the life that I have now. And I'm really grateful to be here. And, they've redefined the song. The song is so much about hope. And even if you're struggling, getting through it and knowing that you're not alone in it and there are other people. And I think that's what I've learned through it. And now it feels fresh to me. And I'm really grateful for this song. And I'm excited that it's given me somewhat of a platform to keep telling my story and keep telling these kind of human truths that I experience. And because I'm a regular dude who's currently having a irregular experience, and it's cool. I think people gravitate towards the familiar, and if I can give people a safe place to feel their feelings through my songs, then I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
Sam, two-part question.
Go for it.
What is the biggest crowd you've ever performed for? And the complete flip of that, have you ever been booed?
The biggest crowd I've ever performed for is like, you know what? It's like 12,000, and it's back in Sydney. And there's like a show called the School Spectacular, and it's like the biggest like variety event, and it was held in one of our arenas down there, and that was cool. It wasn't my own stuff. I sang a song from Aladdin, so that was
New world. Whole new.
You know what? It was One Jump Ahead of the Breadline.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
You know what?
Yep. One jump. Yeah.
Yeah. And have I been booed? Not to my ears. So if someone's booed me out there, then like, you suck. But no, I've never. I don't think I've ever been booed. First time for everything, though.
Yeah. Well,
you can boo me.
I'm not going to boo you, Sam. Good God. I've heard some crazy stories, man. Calvin Harris told me he got booed when he was on tour with Rihanna once in France. Oh. When he had a song with Rihanna, they booed him. This is, of course, years ago. But that
was a huge song as well.
It was huge. And he was on tour with her. So you would think they would be kind of okay with I don't know why. Who knows? But yeah. Sam, Louis Capaldi, of course, invited you to go on tour with him, which you eventually did. Mm-hmm. But the story, I want to hear the story about the first night of his tour was your wedding day or wedding night. Yeah. And you debated, according to the story, you're like, maybe I should skip my wedding. No. Did you? I mean, of course you didn't, but walk me through that.
Well, yeah, I was at the gym and I got a DM from Lewis, and he said, all right, you want to come around the US? And I was like, yes, mate, I do. And then I was like, when's the tour starting? And he said, oh, the first date is June 1st. And I was like, okay, so that's my wedding day. And, my wife sings backgrounds for me, and both of us, like, getting married and going on tour had always been they're big moments for us. And so it was never a question. I was never going to skip my wedding, but it was a conversation of like, what do we do? Like, how do we handle this? And so I went back to him and I was like, hey, mate, is it cool if I miss the first date to get married? And he just laughed. He was like, yes, of course, you said that. And so we got married. It was an amazing day, best wedding of all time. And then the next morning, we woke up at like 7 a.m., still completely hammered. And we packed up everything because we were staying at this really nice hotel because we thought we would be able to spend the day like hungover by a pool or something. And we drove to the airport and got on a plane, hungover as anything, and went to DC and then played the first night of tour the next night. And it was insane. I forgot my ring. That was cool too for me.
Where, back at the hotel, or where'd you forget it at?
I forgot. I guess I still take my ring off when I shower because I'm afraid of like ruining it, even though it's been nearly a year. It'll be our anniversary in like 4 days. So Yeah, I don't know. I left it at home and then got on stage and was like, okay, I'm gonna sing this love song and it's like dedicated to my new wife. We just got married, guys. And I like go to show my ring and it's not there, and that was a dark moment for me, but we got through it. I was like, I swear I'm married, I promise. But,
The sheer terror that hit internally, the terror that hit, like, oh my God, what did I do with this ring?
oh yeah, I fully thought I'd lost it. Like I left it on the plane or something, and it wasn't good for me.
Goodness. Sam, something you might not know about me, I am absolutely obsessed with the paranormal. I've got a podcast called Paranormalish. I'm
Love
off
that.
the deep end. Now, I am told that you or somebody you know has had a crazy or somewhat crazy paranormal encounter.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't had a crazy paranormal encounter, though our apartment creaks like none other in the night. Like pretty sure it's a bunch of spirits.
Got to be a ghost.
But my sister-in-law, her old place, she used to wake up with like scratches on her back, and like she woke up with a rubber band like super tightly tied around her finger. Like she would be in her bedroom and like something would like fall off the wall and like break. Like it got really dark to the point where her and her husband moved.
Really? Because of that?
Because it got to a point where so many things were happening that it just, regardless of what's real or not, they were like, we're out. We can't do it.
Did they have a theory on who they think might be walking around this joint, or what they just said, I don't care?
Well, they don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, who knows? Maybe the previous tenants invited some bad juju in, but they wanted to get out. Like she's a pretty no frills kind of person, and this shook her a bit. Like waking up with your finger being purple because a rubber band is tightly around it is pretty nuts.
Now, final question on that. I've never heard of I've talked to a lot of people with paranormal encounters. I've never heard of someone where a spirit or something put a rubber band, like was the rubber band already on her finger and it just got tighter, or there was no rubber band on her finger and something put it on there?
She says there was no rubber band on her finger and she woke up with one. So either it's her husband playing mad tricks on her or something's going on.
What the heck? Hey, what's that, the label story? You moved to LA, you're all excited. And the label, to my understanding, some label drops you. So you're thinking, well, crap, I just came all this way. My label just dropped me. Of course, eventually the new label slides into the DMs. Walk me through some of that.
Yeah, so I've been signed and dropped. That was about 4 years ago when I got dropped, and it sucked. It felt like a breakup, and I took it really personally. I'm pretty hard on myself. I'm trying to be kinder to myself, but I take things personally when I shouldn't. And I thought getting dropped was a reflection of me and who I was as a person. And I realized that that's not the case, but it's hard. It's like going through a breakup. And, I think people come to LA with all these expectations and dreams, and when the reality doesn't turn out to be what you thought it was, it's pretty shocking. And, it's hard to talk to people about it because having a record deal is such a privilege as well.
Right.
So I spent 4 years kind of working on myself. And I think when you go through a breakup or something like that, when you're broken like that, you have all your pieces of yourself laid out in front of yourself, and you can see your flaws and what you might not like about yourself. And so I've just been trying to work on myself. And, obviously the fans took this city to a place I'd never imagined. And then RCA slipped into the DMs on Instagram late last year, and it was crazy. I was in Nashville on a writing trip, got a message from RCA in the DMs in the UK, and jumped on the phone straight away. 2 days later, my manager Brad and I were in London. We're there for 48 hours, and we flew back. We had a meeting in New York with RCA, and it was the right team. And I was pretty nervous about signing to another record label because the first one just went so poorly. And for me, it wasn't about which label. It was I wanted the right team, and I'm very grateful for the team around me now. And yeah, but it just feels like everything good that happens to me happens in my DMs. So I don't know.
That's what I hear. If it's going on in the DMs, What could possibly go wrong, you know?
That's it. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
Have you ever made on stage, of course, you've perfected your craft. You know what you're doing, but you are still human. Have you ever
Yeah.
made a noticeable on-stage mistake, even one where the audience went, "Ooh, I don't think that was supposed to
Oh,
happen"?
totally.
Give me a good
Oh my
one.
goodness. Oh, forgot my lyrics. Like,
Love that.
you know what? In college, there was a competition where songwriters pitched songs to singers and singers would sing them. And it was a big show. And I was one of the singers, and a songwriter sent his song. And I get on stage and I get the first verse and I get to the chorus and it's just gone. Like, first chorus, gone. Whole song's gone. So I start making it up, and I'm like running and I'm over singing. And the songwriter standing in front of me, just like eyes wide, being like, what is going on? Anyway,
He's rewriting
I
my
won.
song. What?
I won that competition.
Oh,
So
really?
fake it till you make it, guys.
So you forgot the lyrics totally, complete
Completely.
ad lib,
Completely.
won it.
Yeah, and the ad lib was bad, but like I had energy and I was going for it, and that's what it's about.
God, nice. Hey, is it true, a random, you almost became a tennis pro before all this music thing? What the?
Tennis, I look. People don't think it. They don't think I'm athletic at all, which I don't know what that says about me. I'm clearly wildly out of shape. But yeah, tennis was my life until I realized I just wasn't good enough. But I played really seriously when I was younger. My first cousin Jeremy was like a professional Australian tennis player, and he
Oh,
did his
really?
thing. Yeah, but yeah, tennis was my life for a long time, and I got really, really, really badly beaten by a kid who was 2 years younger than me in a like my first like really big tournament, and yeah, he ruined me. He was like
Wow.
like a foot taller than me, and he was like 11 at the time, and just flattened me, and it shook me, and I was like, maybe I need to rethink this. And then I chose the the steady path of being a musician instead.
Final
So
question on tennis. You know how you write,
yeah,
you go through a bad relationship and you write
yeah,
music about it. That beat down you got in tennis, has that, circulated through your music in some way? Like, they did
yeah.
me wrong. How would that fit into
This
something
this city
lyrically?
is this city is actually written about that kid who beat me when he was 11 and I was 13. Um, I'm sure it battered my confidence. I was such a bad loser when I was younger. Like, I used to like smack my racket and like yell, and then I would get home and like cry, and I was terrible. So uh, it's probably like deep trauma of being ruined like that. It will absolutely come out in the songs.
Goodness,
I'll let you know.
this must have been some beatdown. My
God,
God.
I'm coming up like such a mess. Hey, it's all good. Listen, we're honest. We're being vulnerable, and we
That's
love it.
right. Sam, let's do a quick recap. This city, it's out. Get on this
It's
track,
out. Get on it.
or you're a terrible person. I mean, that's safe to say.
A horrible, horrific human.
Awful person. Working on lots of new music because you've been cooped up in the house. What else you gonna do?
Yeah.
You almost skipped your wedding day because of Louis Capaldi.
Yeah.
Sort of stretching
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah, really
twisting the
turning
truth
that
there.
into.
But and I cannot wait to meet you in person. It's a real pleasure to meet you over Zoom. But Zoom, as cool as it is, hate to say it, it ain't the same. But
Absolutely.
one of these days, man, when things settle down, let's hang out and let's do stuff. I don't know what, but something.
100%. I'm ready. Let's do stuff.
All right. At the end of every interview, and I haven't done this in a while, virtually, fist bump to make it official. Hit that camera. Hi-ya!
Boom. Camera's broken. Fists are bumped.